You're on.
Hi everyone, Sarah here from the Paper Cut. It's Thursday night. We're just getting all set up. Um, okay, I see myself. Yay. Let's see.
Oh, let me turn my
Oh,
speaker off.
my mom's got to turn her speaker off, but I know we have sound because I just did mine. So it's Thursday night. We have a nice day in Wisconsin. Not too hot, not too cold. It's the perfect day. No, that's from a movie. I can't remember which movie. Anyways, um, um, anyways, we're just waiting for my mom. I think she's getting everything. You're all hooked up.
Yeah,
You're all ready to
I'm
go.
all hooked up.
Okay. Again, if you have, I think we forgot to mention this the last time. If you ever have trouble connecting, go to YouTube. Usually, my mom posts the link.
Yep.
So we're here on Thursday. What we have coming up? Oh, it's Labor Day this weekend. Labor Day for me means I'll be working all weekend, getting kits and stuff ready for the warehouse sale. But that's okay because the warehouse sale is always the same weekend. In person is always 2 weeks after Labor Day weekend. So it's always a weekend off. So we have another weekend, and then it's the in-person warehouse sale, which is the 16th. Some of you I'll see on the 15th for in-person classes. And then we'll do virtual week, but we need to get your kits out. Those are going to ship on the 11th, which is Monday. So we have this weekend, we have next weekend, and then we will ship your kits off to you for virtual week. And then I'll see a bunch of you on the 15th and the 16th. And yeah, so it's a busy few weeks here at the Paper Cut. Hopefully you guys are all enjoying your Labor Day doing something fun. So I'll get a little bit of fun in, but it'll be like work too. So, but that's okay. That's all right. So, and then next weekend we have Crafter's Classroom, which it's the book kits, which those kits did all ship, with the exception I think of one. Somebody ordered it with another kit, the Creamy Dreamy, and we'll have that one ready to go soon. So I did hold that one off. So anyways. We have that next weekend. And then, yeah, warehouse sale. So anyways, let's go down to the table. I'm going to show some cards and some kits.
Okay.
So we're down at the table. These are the two book kits. So if you haven't ordered them yet, there's still time to get them. They're just little mini book kits. This one has the accordion spine, which we've done before. But it's easier because it doesn't have the library pockets. It goes together really quick. Those are my puppies. Well, they're not my puppies. They're my grandpuppies. So they come to work with me every once in a while. They're crazy dogs. And right now they're driving to Minnesota and they're seatbelted. And Winnie, who's the boxer, isn't sure what to think of that. And then we have Ev, cute little Ev, which I haven't finished his book yet. But it's this accordion book, which we used to have an 8-panel accordion card, and we don't anymore. But in this one, we're using 2 4-panel ones and putting them together to make the 8-panel. So, and then you can put pictures on the back too, with overlays. So that's the book kit, mini book kit. We can get that out in the mail pretty quick to you. But this is one of the classes for the warehouse sale. I'm missing one of the cards, but this is the layered floral class. So in this class, you're actually doing the stamping and the die cutting. So you get this stamp set with it, and you get these dies. Now, as far as layered florals, there's only like 2 layers, so they're not too bad. There's lots of flowers on here. You know, there's lots of different ones, but they're all like 2 layers instead of like 4 layers. So we're going to stamp a whole bunch of flowers. We'll get those stamped and die cut, and then we'll put together the cards. This one is like my favorite one. This is a floating acetate one where we just did the strips of acetate for the card front. This one we're going to do a little bit of brush blending on. This one we're going to just do some layering. So you're going to stamp your words, so you can actually pick, you know, what words you want to go with your happy, you know, birthday makes sense for that one. Thanks so much, or thanks a bunch. Hugs, you know, to you, for you, whatever, because there's different like little words on here. So, and you don't necessarily need these dies to work with these words because they have the thanks on there to work with the a bunch or so much. So, or birthday wishes. So anyways, that's the layered floral class, and I'll probably be showing the class cards, over the next 2 weeks. So let's go on to what we're going to do today. We're already there. I said, let's go. And my mom was about to switch it.
Wake up, Mom.
Switch it down to the table, which we're already there. So anyways, we have our shutter card. Some people refer to the shutter card as a gatefold card because it does fold in and meets in the middle. So it does start as and I've got a piece of cardstock here. Actually, I've got a scored card here, I think. No, I don't. I'm sure I do in this box that's right next to me that has lots of paper in it. Because every time I, go to grab paper, then I put it in this little box that's next to me. Anyways, this is a normal 5.5 by 8.5. So the shutter card has your 2 scores. Instead of being scored right down the middle for your A2 card, it's scored with the 2 panels to fold in. So it's still an A2 card, but they meet in the middle. And we have those in white, black, and cream. So we're going to use this, and we're going to kind of we're going to put the floating part on the inside. So I did see this. All of a sudden, I don't know why, but on my computer, I get little notifications when I get emails coming in. Well, all of a sudden now I get little notifications for all kinds of stuff. And there was a YouTube video that came up, and it had where they used a shutter card to do like a floating acetate. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Well, I don't have sound on that computer, so I just kind of watched and hope that I'm figuring out. Or it's got closed captions so I can read it, if I'm sitting there, but I'm supposed to be working instead of watching YouTube videos. So
Does your boss know that?
Yeah, my boss doesn't know that. Shh, don't tell.
Don't tell her.
Don't tell her.
Don't, whoever them or her is.
Yeah. So, but yeah, sometimes I'm slacking and I'm watching YouTube videos while I'm supposed to be working. Anyways, and I'm not listening to sound because I don't want her to hear me.
And here I thought you were working hard in there. You are working. You aren't working hard, you're working smart.
Yeah, well, not always. But anyways, I do goof off sometimes. So this, has the scores. This is our shutter card. We want to score this at 4 1/4. Because we do cutting and scoring, getting a score pal was like one of the last things that I did. Like, I was like, what do I need a score pal for? Like, we score it. That's what we do. But it does come in very handy. So do I want you to buy the pre-cut shutter cards? Absolutely, because that keeps us in business. But you could buy your paper too, and you could score it yourself. But having those 2 scores there is sometimes nice, just to get started. So, but we are going to add one more score here. And with the score pal, I mean, when you used to have to pull out a ruler and mark it, so this score pal it's pretty genius. So,
I have something similar to that back in my stash back there.
Well, there's a score pal and there's a score it board.
Score it. Is
Yeah,
what I
and
have,
there's probably a whole bunch of them, so it doesn't even have to be the score pal. But having the little measurements up here, although they have the quarters and the halves and the 3/4, and then they have the little guide for the 1/8. But anyways, we're scoring it at 4 1/4. Stop talking, Sarah. Just do it. But yeah, I do like my score pal. So, and I do need this out for another thing, because we have our clear cover. Let's see, where is it? It's clear, so it's hard to see. So we have our clear cover, and this is just a scrap piece that I had sitting in here. And this one's 5.5, just because this is what I had. We need 2 scores on there, so they're 4 1/8 apart, because we want this to, well, you'll see. But anyways, I'm going to score it at, I think, 3/4, and then 4 inches is 4 3/4, but we're going to go 1/8 past that. So this clear cover is really heavy. We use it we used it as a card base. So I did just score it. We're going to cut it too, but while I have my scoreboard out, but I just scored it slightly less because in here it's 4 1/4. So to make this fit inside of there, I needed to score it at 4 1/8 in the middle. And depending on how long you have it, you know, my little tabs are not even in size. That's okay. I just need this distance to be 4 1/8 with like a 1/2 or 3/4 inch that I could use as a tape tab. So let me put my score pal away. So now when we do a shutter card, or when I do a shutter card, I have my 2 panels on the front. Depending on how big of borders you like, I like fairly narrow borders. So my panels I cut at 5 3/8. I could actually write it down. I cut my panels at 2 by 5 3/8. And those will fit on the front. Now, in my picture, I did show some printed paper, and I don't know if I'm going to use that or not, because then I did go in my stamp room. So sometimes when I have stuff semi-planned, like I pretty much know what I'm going to do. I'm not, because then I found some different stuff. I found these kind of fun clouds, and then I found these bats. So we're doing bats on the inside. So now I'm thinking maybe I want to do some bats on the outside. So I might stamp a few different things because I'm not sure what's going to work. And it's usually how it goes, where I have something in my mind and then it doesn't always pan out. So I brought in some purple paper here. Well, this is blue from last week. We'll put that aside. Grape jelly and grapesicle. So I'm going to cut a couple panels of my grape jelly because I think I'm going to stamp my bats in black on here. So I'm going to cut those at my 5, must be, there's like some wrinkles in my, on my platform here. And I'm wondering, I don't know, I've never seen those there before. I wonder if it's because it's kind of humid in here today. Or maybe that's like something that's supposed to come off and
Nope.
it's still on there.
Hey, I just took something off my microwave.
This looks like a clear film that comes like on your refrigerator,
Yeah.
but it's only like, and I didn't even notice it was on there until just now.
I
when
can see
there's
it on the screen.
The wrinkles, yeah, that is weird. So I'm hesitant to pull it up in the corners because maybe it's supposed to be on there. Okay, I'm moving on. So I'm cutting 2 panels for the front at 5 3/8 by 2. And this piece of paper that I had are some scraps that were slightly short of 4. That's why I have to cut 2 of them because my 2 inches won't work. But I have some extra paper, scraps. And then I think for the inside, I might do the clouds, and I think I might do those on the grapesicle, I think. I don't know. So let's just get a few pieces of that cut too. Like I said, I can usually design with you guys watching, you know, fairly no problem, but put me here to design something else and yeah, it takes me forever. So I am just going to cut a couple pieces of my chevron paper just in case.
But you don't have dogs in here tonight. And see, that's why it takes you forever sometimes. 'Cause
Yeah,
you get dogs.
sometimes it takes me forever during the days because I have the dogs.
Dogs and kids and moms. And
Yeah. Then I'm like, oh, do you want to go out? Well, it's easier taking you out than designing my card, so let's just do that instead. There's always something that will distract me if I'm having a brain fart. So let's just see how our little bats are going to look. So I have my 2 pieces. I cut them ahead of time. I could have cut them after, but I cut them ahead of time just so I don't have to handle them because my luck, they would smear as I'm cutting them. So I decided to just cut it ahead of time. So then I didn't even know that I was going to demo the Mega Mount tonight, because I thought I was just going to use all pattern paper. So I'm putting it on. I put it on fairly close to one edge. I'm just going to roll it just to make sure it's connected, because sometimes my Mega Mounts sit on top of each other and they lose some of their cling. So let's just stamp this. I've got a black ink pad here, and I got purple, but I'm going to stamp my bats in black. So when I'm doing the Mega Mount, I don't know the last time I did a Mega Mount. It might have been a while ago.
Yeah, it seems like it's been a while, long time.
But I do a tappy, 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 tappy. Make sure it's well inked. If you think you have it well inked, but you're not sure, you can always do tappy, tappy some more. And then I hold it above what I'm doing, fairly close, because my it was fairly close to the edge of my block. I hold it. I put my hand up here, I rock it forward, making sure I have equal pressure going all the way across. Beautiful. So I do like my little bats. But I'm
Oh, look at that.
Aren't they fun?
Mm-hmm.
So I just made my own pattern paper. So I'm just going to set that aside for 1 second. Let it dry a little bit.
Hey, look at that, matches my purple on my undershirt.
I might do, okay, I don't want to do the bats, because these bats I'm going to put inside here. So that's why I think I'm going to do my clouds behind there. But I have to take my bats off. And set them down. And I have my clouds. The clouds are a little different because they're not flat on one edge. They're cloud shaped. If they would have made them flat, they cut the rubber fairly close to the edge of the stamp so you don't get that like halo-y type thing from the edge of the stamp. So that's why that's like that. I don't know if I want these in purple or in black. So let's try them in purple first. Well, actually, let's make sure my stamp is on there, because I hate it when I put my stamp on. It doesn't cling good enough, and then it just falls over on what I'm doing. So I like to make sure it's on there. So I'll roll it once beforehand.
Sarah, do you prefer the Mega Mount to the Misty?
I do like my Misty, which I'm going to get that out for stamping these. But for my big stamps like this, I do like the Mega Mount because it's slightly curved, and so you're hitting all areas kind of at the same pressure.
Okay.
So just for the bigger stamps like this, the Mega Mount, I can't say I've grown up with it, because I've been grown up for a while, but I've used it for a long time. And I do like the Mega Mount for my background stamps. Now, not everybody is a friend of the Mega Mount. At my warehouse sale, in-person classes, pre-COVID, you stamped everything. And I have people that, are not friends of the Mega Mount, and they would call me over and say, Sarah, will you do this for me? Well, absolutely I will. And then the next person, well, while you're doing it, do you want to do mine too? Well, sure. But there are people that are friends of the Mega Mount. Oh, I didn't realize that this one doesn't go the whole way. So now I am going to, I do like those clouds. Aren't they cute?
Yeah, they are.
Okay, so let's see if I can do this. Otherwise I'm going to turn it over, but I'm going to start close to that. Huh, okay, that works. But yeah, I kind of like those clouds. So those are going to be my inside. And then I can also do something over on the sides too, but I haven't gotten that far yet. So yay, happy with that. So let's see, what do we have next? Oh, we have a word. I did pre-stamp my word. And while I have a little bit of ink on here, I can do a second generation stamp over the top of my words just so they're not so white. So let's see if I have this light enough to do my second generation and not interfere with my words. Oh, nice. Okay, yes, I like that. The second generation, so it's not stark white. And my mom's very organized dies.
the librarian.
Look at the back.
So
we know what's supposed to be on this die card because she has them done. So she finished my dies. She has now moved on to Impression Obsession dies. And she's not going to the extent of this, but yes, Mitra has a lot of dies.
Mitra, if you're on here, I'm having a blast with your dice. And I'm doing a little more fussy than Sarah asked me to.
Because I'm like, just group them together, but she's doing a great job categorizing them. So.
Thank you, Sarah.
You are.
Yeah, I try it. Oh, I just, I live by that motto. I told you that, Abe Lincoln.
Abe Lincoln. I don't know if that you told me this.
Abe
motto.
Lincoln. Nothing worthwhile is lost by taking time to do things right. And I added the first time. So,
there you go.
There you go. So, I just can't not do it.
Yeah, no, she's doing a great job. So I hadn't thought this through, but I always back stuff. Do I want to back that with that? Or do I want to back it with, maybe I'll black it with some black mirror card. Back it with some black mirror card if I have some in here. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't totally think this through. Like normally I have everything at my fingertips. Not so much right now, but that's okay because you guys are patiently waiting. Let's see what other black we have in here. Well, we have the black leather lake. We could back it with that, and we could back it with a little bit of silver. Let's see if we have enough dies to do that. Okay, yeah, I think we do. So let's cut out some black. And I don't necessarily need to use the leather like, but I think that's what I have close to my fingertips. Oh, I have a different piece that's already cut. So the leather like, I'm going to cut the next size oval. So the two sizes of ovals that you see right here, you may think, why do I need both of them? Well, because they layer together a little bit closer. When you get the dies made, they have to be so far apart in order to produce them or whatever. And they're different. Like some of the dies that you get made in China, which we get none of ours made in China, they can make them closer together. But when the place that we get them made in the States, you have to have them so far apart between the dies. So that's why I do usually 2 sets of the ovals, of the circles, of the squares, so then you can layer them together. And it's really handy having them all on a board like this.
Oh yeah. And I know just how to put them back together again when they come into my librarian box.
Yeah, we don't have a librarian box yet, but we're going to get one going.
I have a makeshift one out there.
So this is the Miri Sparkle. The Miri Sparkle is a thinner than the Diamond Pack, or is it Diamond Pack glitter? So you can see that this is a chunkier glitter, the Diamond Pack, versus the Miri Sparkle. The Miri Sparkle is really smooth, and I do use this for alcohol inking. This one is a little bit chunkier glitter, so it's rougher. It's got more of a cardstock back, so it does die cut a little bit easier. You would think that the thinner one would die cut better, but it doesn't. The thicker one die cuts better. So if you're using a very intricate die, the Miri Sparkle isn't the best choice for an intricate die, just because it doesn't always, you might, well, if you have some patience, you can do that. Okay, I'm gonna give the dies back to the librarian. Here you go, Mom.
Okay, thanks.
Uh-huh. Okay, so let's get these on here.
That's my smiley face board.
Yeah. Yeah. See, this is what she's talking about. This is her smiley face board with the two eyes. One day she's like, do you have, this die? I'm like, yeah, you already did that board. Oh yeah, it's the smiley face board.
I bet you knew what I was talking about.
Yeah. So, I mean, this one might be fun if I would have backed this one in silver too, but we just won't. So, sometimes it's easier to see when you're putting it with, on the white background so you're not going black on black. But when you're doing that, just be very careful to be watching your words. If you're doing a word, so you don't do anything backwards. That's why I flip it back and forth. So.
And the boards are categorized by shape, and inside that categorized, they're alphabetized.
They are awesome. Okay, so we have that. Sometimes I do like.
Yeah, Barb, you're right. Barb Heil said those dies on the board look like a kind of face with a smile.
They are a kind of face with a smile.
Yeah, my smiley face board.
That's the smiley face board. Okay, there we go. We're going to pop that up with foam tape. And then I do like to connect it together, so I might put like a strip down the middle. So let's see what I can find in my box of scrap to do that.
When your dad and I did ballroom dancing, we never fully understood the ballroom dancing terminology, so we made up our own. And it carries right over to this board, these die boards, the smiley face board.
Uh-huh. I think I'm just going to do a tiny little bit of this.
Ooh.
This is the gunmetal mirror card. Then I might carry that through onto the inside, but I'm just going to attach it going across the front. Now, I can't totally attach it because I'll tape my card shut. So I'm going to put tape on part of it, then I'm going to attach it and snip it, and then I will do the other side. So, because sometimes like if you're closing a shutter card, you can put a band around the whole thing and put this word on the band and then it will slide off. You don't have to, but don't stick it across the whole thing because you'll tape your card shut and then there may be tears. I always tell people no tears at the warehouse sale. No tears. Ask me first and I'll help you. Okay, so then we have our other side. Oops, I better put it on this side because then I can open it and cut. Where if I would have put it on the other way, I could cut, but it would be like off my scored edge. So this one I don't think I cut it straight.
And all you folks that have trouble filling your tape guns, you can ask me now because I know how to do that too without looking.
Now, I did cut this side a little bit wonkier, so to cover that up, I am going to attach it, instead of attaching it to my left side, I'm going to attach it to my right side. So I normally wouldn't do that, but I want to cover up. I didn't cut it straight right there. So yeah, today I ran out of tape, and I don't know if you were standing in here or you just heard it. And she's like, I'll take it, and you can have my full one.
Yeah.
That was very nice. Because now she's very proficient in tape gun refilling.
Thank you. Took me a while
That's okay.
to get comfortable with it.
Practice.
Oh, that's what I have to do for dance. Do you know I found out that
I almost
at
taped
80
it shut. Hang on.
You almost did,
I
didn't
did.
you?
Yeah, I have to
I
wipe it up.
watched you do that, and I wondered what you were going to do to fix it.
Yeah. You can just rub it. Now that's the one nice thing about the ATG tape is that you can just rub it. So anyways, now we're to our inside. So for our floating part. Now I'm going to die cut my stuff that I want to float first. So let's do that because I'm going to put these, we're going to put the clouds there. Yeah, we're going to put the clouds there, but let's go on to our bats. So I did get out my platform, my Misty, my whatever, whichever one this is. And I have my bats. Now this is a clear stamp. Sometimes clear stamps have, when they're brand new, have, you know, the residue on them from production. So if you take a red eraser and you're seasoning it, okay, you're just gonna rub it. So if you're taking the layered floral class, you do need some type of, now I did have one that was just on the end of a pencil, but I've worn that one off. So then I graduated to the bigger one.
Big girl eraser.
Yeah, a big girl eraser. I probably found that in my kids' school supplies. Now my kids are, how old are my kids? They're 31, 33, and 27. So yes, this is probably a very old eraser, but it still works. Anyways, that roughs it up a little bit, and it gets off the residue from the production, and it just helps it stamp a little bit better. So I'm putting them face down. I've got my thing set on clear, so I'm gonna pick it up. Now, my things didn't hold it in place because the clear stamps are a little bit sticky, so hopefully it releases. Hopefully I do it good the first time. Okay, so yank them up. But yeah, sometimes you'll see that dye-based inks will bead up a little bit on the clear stamps. Clear stamps can be a little bit trickier. I mean, I love red rubber, but you can get a whole set of clear stamps that all coordinate together. And they take up much less room. Oh, yeah, that worked pretty good. Now, hopefully that didn't move. It moved a little bit, but if you put it up in the corner, you can just usually put it back. I've got extra paper, so if I mess it up. He's stamped pretty good, but let's just give him one more hit. So, I did do one beforehand. Right before. That's why I was a little bit late, because I was like getting the stamps out. Now I should probably clean these buggers, but I'm just going to set them aside for now. I'm going to clean them later. Yeah, right, huh?
Stamp-brarian?
Yeah,
We need a stamp
after the librarian, she's going to be a stamp-brarian too. I do have my dies, or my stamps. I did, fairly organized, but okay. The top piece on there, and then I have them behind me. We're going to put our platform away. Now I do have the dies for these because this set had matching dies. So you can set your dies on there. I do have my washi tape here so I can hold them in place. Now usually, you guys know me, I'm a go for it kind of gal. But I do like to hold my dies in place because if I do not hold it in place and it moves, then I just have to redo it. So I do like to hold my dies in place when I'm running them through. I'm not a huge fan of the magnetic one, just because sometimes my magnets jump. So yeah. So I'm not a huge fan of the magnetic one. I would just rather use the, and now my fingers, I don't know if that's from, but I maybe want to, because I used a VersaFine Clair, which stays a little bit wetter, but I do like it because that you get really good stamped images with the VersaFine Clair. It's a little bit thicker of an ink. Is it a pigment ink? It's a Sucaniko, which is, I don't think Sucaniko's in this is a pigment ink, but it's not like a normal, like a metallic pigment ink. So I'm just going to get out my heat gun and zap them because I don't want to get black ink on my plates. I should have done that before I actually attached the dies, but oh well.
Sucaniko doesn't make those little duodabbers anymore, do they?
I think Sucaniko went out of business.
Really?
I think so.
Oh my goodness.
I could be wrong, but I don't know if anybody out there knows, let us know, because I don't know if I am imagining that or if that is an actual true thing. So don't spread any rumors based on me just saying that. Somebody needs to confirm or tell me, nope, they are still in business.
So I used to use Sucaniko duodabbers with my quilted card stuff because it was a crossover product, and even though I was working with quilters for the most part, we would teach them a little bit of stamping, and they weren't so afraid of it. And we also used it for doing other things with those quilted cards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the duodabbers are nice. I would use my favorite Sucaniko ink pads are the Encore pads.
Oh yeah.
The Encore Gold and Silver. I think those are like the best silver and gold ink pads. So, yes, if anybody knows, why don't you go to Sucaniko and
that's
see
what
if
I'm
they're
going
still,
to.
okay.
It just took me, it's taking me longer today.
It's because you were busy with your librarian job. All of a sudden I'm like, Mom, it's time to go.
What time is it?
What time is it? Yeah, because usually she leaves earlier than me. On Thursdays, I usually leave a little bit early because I go home, have some dinner, and then I pick my mom up and come back. And usually my mom's out of here before I am. But today I'm like, Mom, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Well, what time is it? Oh, it's time to go.
Well, there's still a website out
Okay,
here
so
for
maybe they are
Sucaniko.
still making ink pads.
Yeah.
Okay, that would be good news. All right, so we have our little guys, and
It's under the Nikki group.
the Nikki.
Nikke, Nikki group, Sucaniko.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull out some googly eyes because they would be fun on these bats. And one of the bats I might put on the front. So, let's see. Do I want a bat on the front? I should have put that up higher because I could have hung him. I can still hang him upside down. Yeah. Okay. Or let's see, where'd my little guy went? Yeah, I think I might put my this guy. I'm gonna hang him if I can find a spot. Yeah, I'm gonna hang my little bat upside down because I think the two of them are gonna be. But he's cute on there too. I should have put this up a little bit higher. I didn't think that through. Anyways, back to the inside. So we have this piece that we scored, and I'm gonna cut it thinner because I don't need this big honking piece. I just scored it going all the way across. So let me cut them. I'm just gonna cut them into some little strips, and they're already scored. It doesn't matter how wide, so there's no rule here. And again, I'm cutting this thicker cover. You want to be kind of deliberate, then make sure your blade, you're getting good contact between your blade, but don't stick your fingers in there. I'm going to cut two
Well, I
little
asked the
strips.
question if Sucaniko went out of business, but it didn't say they did. I don't see anybody else talking about it.
Okay, well, maybe they are still in business. That would be great, because, yeah, I like the VersaFine Clairs, and
Well, I know what we used it for too. We used it for stamping on fabric.
oh, yeah.
It's a great ink for stamping on
Okay.
fabric.
So we have our little things. These are going to attach inside here, okay? And we're going to attach two of them just because we have two bats. The video that I watched, I couldn't hear it because I had my sound off, so my boss didn't hear.
Put your earphones in, Sarah.
I don't have any earphones.
Oh, I'll have to get you some.
Okay. So anyways, on the video, they actually connected both sides and then slid these in. I thought it might be easier to just connect one side at a time, but we'll see. And first I kind of want to decide where my bats are going to go. So let me just play with this.
They're going batty.
They're going batty. So I can put that guy there, and I can put maybe this little guy right here. Okay, so we're going to put one band, and it doesn't matter. I'm not going to get my ruler out and measure it.
No.
Rulers, schmoolers.
They don't work for go for it kind of gals.
Yep, nope, they don't. So I'm going to set one on there, and I'm going to put tape on my other tape tab. This is why it didn't matter really how long it was. You just needed to leave yourself a tape tab, and then you needed 4 1/8 from score to score. Okay, so I've got my little 2 bands there. I'm going to open that up, and then I'm going to attach. Now because you're, you might have to trim a little bit off of here depending on, how far in you can push your layer into the score of the band. So, because these were cut to fit on the front, but we've taken a little bit of space, by having this little score there. So, but it looks like they fit, so I think we're good. While I have my tape out, I'm going to put tape on the other one. Oh, I shouldn't have done that because I should have checked to make sure this one was going to fit. Crud. Okay, well, I don't have tape on the whole thing. I can always cut a little hunk off if I need to. Okay, so we're just going to attach.
I've done that on occasion.
What?
Taped it before I really had a final cut.
Dimension, and then you have to cut it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we can fold over our band, and we can now put tape. Now, this other one, we are going to have to slide it in. But I thought, why slide both of them in if you don't need to? So now I'm going to put tape on my other side. Okay. And we're just going to attach that in there. Attach that to there. Now this is where I might have to make an adjustment just to trim a sneak off of there in case these aren't over as far as they are over on this side. So yeah, I think I'm going to take just a hair off of there because I didn't check that ahead of time. Okay, so now I do need to very gently, see with that score in there, that opens that up.
Diana Makatura said good night. Diana, if you're still on, how is your weather?
Oh, because she's in Florida.
Florida, yeah.
Yeah.
All you Floridians, I hope you're staying safe.
Yeah.
I know Tampa got hit really bad, so.
Okay, so now this is floating because it's going to make our pieces inside here float. So we're going to put tape just where we want to attach it. So I'm just going to put a little bit of tape, and you can pop it up like you could if you did a few things. I was going in a different direction before I saw these stamps sitting there, but you could put like a diamond shape, and then put one on the top of it, but pop that one up so you could have 3 little bands going on the inside of here. But, okay, we switched to our little bats. So I'm going to put tape just a little bit in the middle of the bat. But yeah, if you wanted them at different layers or depths, you could pop them up with a little bit of foam tape. Now, make sure that your tape isn't sticking past the edge of your acetate, because then it's not going to float. It's going to just totally be attached like a regular card. So it might have been better to put my tape on my band, because I did put a little bit too much tape for the width of my acetate. Okay, so now when we open it up, see how they're floating? Whew.
Cute, cute.
I like that. So yeah, my little bats are floating.
Our very first house that we bought, we had bats one time.
So now I have my, I don't know if I should put my googly eyes on the inside, but what the heck. I'm I should have used my, I'm gonna switch to my crystal lacquer. Oh, I see Diana said they were lucky enough just a little wind.
Yeah.
So I do like my crystal lacquer for attaching embellishments because it usually dries pretty quick. The problem with my crystal lacquer is sometimes it gets gloopy. So if I don't test it on a piece of scratch paper, I could have a big blob on my project. Because I squeezed.
Where are
too
the
hard.
bats from, Sarah?
They're Impression Obsession.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's see if I can pick up, actually I might need her tweezers to pick up my little googly eyes. I could have had smaller googly eyes for this little guy. Oops. Oh, that's the side that had I started with that other glue. I might have to get one more googly eye out. Yeah, the googly eyes are going to be a little bit thick for the inside, but oh well. It's just my sample. It's not, probably we're not going to get mailed. Well, Josh may come home and take it and then mail it to somebody.
Yeah,
So.
right.
Actually, he doesn't usually mail. He usually hands them out in person, even if it's a few months late. So. So yeah, this could be your Mother's Day card next year, Mom.
For somebody who's batty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
So I'm going to hang this guy off of here. I probably need to, yeah, I need to stick him under there a little bit. Okay, so I need glue on the back of him. I should have thought about him sticking up there before I attached him, but yeah, last year for Mother's Day, I think he gave you a New Year's card.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he did. I was just looking at that card this week. Oh gosh.
Okay, so that's going to take a hot minute to dry. To get him hanging there, but I think he's fun hanging off the other side. So, and there we have our floating acetate. So it's scored in the back so they can actually float forward. So when you open it, instead of it bending the other way, it bends out. So anyways, that was kind of fun. Yeah, first time doing that. I might have to move that bat because I can't stand them up. But anyways, so yeah, thanks for joining us tonight, guys, for our floating acetate Halloween card.
Bye.
So thanks much. Bye, guys.